So, Assassin's Creed 3 has been announced for a while, but I've had other stuff to review. But anyway, let's start looking at the entire series, starting with Assassin's Creed 1. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm in no hurry to get through all 4 games. We have until, like, November for that, so don't expect the Assassin's Creed 2 review for a month and a half. And plus, I haven't even gotten Brotherhood yet, so, yeah, just be a little patient for those. But yeah, let's look at the game that started it all, Assassin's Creed.
So after a very trippy and confusing opening, we learn that the game's story follows 2 different people, Desmond and Altair. Desmond is being held hostage by some a-hole of a company in present day. They hook him up to this thing called the Animus. This nifty piece of tech allows you to relive your ancestors' memories. This is where Altair comes in. He's this assassin during the Crusades, and to be honest, I haven't taken AP World History yet, so my knowledge of this time frame was really negligible. Something about Templars and treasure, and I'm not sure who's Christian or Muslim, and I think one of these groups might be atheist. Yeah, this background tale kind of lost me, so let's touch specifically on Altair's plight. Desmond isn't really prominent, to be honest. Anyway, your perfectly trustworthy master has ordered Altair to assassinate 9 guys because Altair is a serious dick.
You have already broken 2 tenets of our creed. Now you would break the 3rd. Do not compromise the Brotherhood.
I am your superior, in both title and ability. You should know better than to question me.
Oh, asshole!
Understand these words. It matters not how we complete our task, only that it's done.
But this is not the way
My way is better.
Dear God, that's Anakin Skywalker levels of prickiness. Anyway, yeah, you're assassinating 9 guys so Altair can learn to not be a douche. The story itself was, yeah, okay, I guess. I know a lot of people were really taken by it, but I personally found very little to be invested in. We barely touch on Desmond, and I'm not a fan of Altair. It has a couple twists, and the voice acting is really superb. I just didn't find it to be too interesting, I guess. If the story wasn't so prominent, I would consider it a huge steal, but it kinda is. Don't worry though, because I didn't get the game for an engrossing story. My only legitimate gripe with it is that there is so much dialogue, and a lot of it you just don't give a crap about. And, hey, guess what? You can't skip it. Controls are actually pretty interesting, though. You see, this whole game is based off of subtlety. You know, blending into crowds, nonchalantly strolling past guards, you get the picture. Think Jason Bourne, but 1,000 years earlier. So, by default, you are set to socially acceptable movement. You walk slowly, and guards hopefully won't notice you. But, to get around, fight, you enter high profile mode by holding down R1. Hold down X as well, and you enter free running, where you can platform around or, just sprint. It's actually a pretty cool system. Free running, feels automatic, obviously, especially since there's an auto jump, but it's actually pretty satisfying. So, like I said, Altair asshole is off to assassinate 9 guys. This is the game. This is what you will be doing from pretty much start to end. So I know you're thinking, man, dude, this must be really short if all you're doing is killing a measly 9 people. Well, not exactly. To be able to assassinate one of your targets, you need to perform 2 or 3 filler missions. Oh, I mean investigations. There are 3 main investigations for you to perform. Pickpocketing, which is actually pretty fun. Yoink. Then there's interrogation, where you just beat someone up. It's not half bad, but nothing special. Then there's eavesdropping. Okay, check this out. You sit on a bench and lock onto your target. And you listen. Yeah. However, you'll eventually come across some side assassinations. Some guy'll tell you that if you kill some guards, he'll give you some information. I mean, he could just do it himself, but nah. So instead of beating the out of him like all the other guys you've interrogated, you obey and assassinate some guards. And let's face it, these are probably the best filler missions. One thing to keep in mind throughout all of this is that this is a sandbox game, guys. You have an entire city to explore. And that's great fun because there's plenty of freedom to find collectibles, save citizens, etc. And the cities are pretty lavishly detailed. Civilians will actually notice when you start climbing buildings and realistically act pretty confused. It's great. The only negative addition to these towns aside from the inability to swim are the poor beggars. Why? Here's the reenactment.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question. Do you have any money? Do you have any money?
Well, I sort of left my wallet at Giant Assassination Fortress, so no.
Oh, that's great. I'll need $10, please.
What part of no did you not get?
Yeah, I got it. So, where's my money? Where's my money? Give me my money.
Lady, there's no give money button on my controller, so I guess you're out of luck.
I can settle for $5 and just pester that guy in the brown over there.
Listen, I'm kind of on my way to commit my 5th homicide this week, and if you know what's good for you, you'll leave me undeterred in my quest.
But I'm so hungry.
Eat that! When you finally get to the assassination, it's great. Yeah, a couple of them all but require you to charge at them and be seen, but the majority of them are stealth gameplay at its finest. There is just something so satisfying about just standing nonchalantly and having your target walk right into you. Plus, I could just listen to that assassination sound effect for days. My job may not be the most exciting, but as an archer, I certainly know that I'll never be in any danger. I also really loved running from the guards. You know, breaking their line of sight and then hiding. It's great. I mean, not all the time, but most of the time it's great. Admittedly, it can get a little frustrating as, you know, you're trying to climb a building to get away when they start throwing stuff at you, causing you to fall. Oh, so, no. Ugh. But yeah, it's also good fun. Bottom line, the game's quite fun. Usually. However, this game has some big issues with it. And let's start with the Big Magilla. Sword play. The sword combat in this game is utter dog shit. And I'm not kidding. If it isn't the fact that it boils down to button mashing the square button 20 times until your opponent's guard breaks so you can score one hit, it's the counterattack. The unresponsiveness of this move is borderline Ninja Breadman. Yeah, I went there. I hate this combat. It is a boring, broken mess. And admittedly, throughout 90% of the game, you'll be able to avoid the sword fighting. But then we get to the last half hour. After all 9 assassinations, stealth is thrown out the window in favor of crowds of 10 to 15 plus guards. I almost didn't finish this game. I got so pissed off. Bottom line, the combat is atrocious. The AI can also be really hokey. This is something that can frustrate you immensely at times. Okay, so I'm just walking to my target in blend mode, and what did I do? And here's another sublime example. I'm just minding my own business, about to murder someone when this drunk dildo pushes me into a guard. And who gets surrounded by guards? Oh, of course, me. Not the drunk guy. Why arrest him for drunk, disorderly whatever? It can get so frustrating. And then there's the fact that there were actually speed limits in the Crusade eras. Yeah, who knew? Ride your horse too fast and half the Templar army tries to chase you down. I mean, I get it if I run over 70 people. Like they're bowling pins. But if I'm just making my way across the countryside...
We don't take too kindly of that riding that horse at that slightly feverish pace in this here town, boy.
However, I'll readily admit that ultimately the AI is something you'll get used to. You'll just have to be really, really cautious. And hey, they stress you out enough to the point of where when you get an eavesdropping or pickpocketing mission, your reaction won't be so much of exasperation as it will be of...
Oh my god, what's next? An easy mission. Thank you.
Concerning the repetitiveness of the game, which a lot of people like to touch on, some of that is present, but it's nothing that can't be fixed by taking a break here and there, or just picking a fight with some civilians. I didn't even realize how repetitive it was until after I was done capturing footage after 2 3-hour marathons. I wasn't even playing the game when I just suddenly realized, yeah, that was kind of repetitive, but ultimately, it's not a huge problem. Graphically, okay, it's a very mixed bag. You see, the main thing that was catching my eye throughout my entire playthrough of this was of how god-awful the pop-ups were. Just look at this. Look at that, and that, and that. Does it affect gameplay? No, not at all, but where did that crowd come from? Of course, when everything is actually loaded, it looks pretty damn good, but these pop-ins are just terrible. However, Okay, I have some problems with it, but I still had an awesome time with this game. I'm not calling it perfect, and it certainly has some inescapable flaws, but at its best, it's one of the coolest games I've ever played. Just the idea of using the crouch to your advantage, hiding in plain sight until BAM! Or stalking your target via rooftops, waiting for the perfect time to descend to ground level and strike! There's nothing quite like it, guys. It's a great start to the series, and something that I think every gamer should at least try. The combat may be irredeemably bad, but that shouldn't stop anyone. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Ah! Damn, that hurt more than I thought it would.